I think most people are digging Doom Eternal. I go over to Metacritic. Doom Eternal sitting on an average of 89 out of 50 critic reviews. You have a 7.6 score with over 1,000 ratings, and that's just for the PC. If we go and look at the PlayStation 4 version of the game, you have an 87 average with an 8.0, and it's pretty much across the board. The Xbox One version is at an 89 with a 7.5, but that's based on 364 ratings for the people there. So mostly people like the game. I think it's fun. Have I beat the game yet? I have not, but from what I've played of it, I like it a lot, and I think it's fun. It's something that I think a lot of us needed for everything going on right now. And then we go over to Game Rant, where they rant about how the game's too hard. It's just too hard of a game. And this is how these are the 10 fixes that'll make Doom Eternal a better game. It'll make it a perfect 10, which I don't get because a lot of the things that they want to change would change what makes the game so good. So I'm not sure. Anyway, I just wanted to go over these because these are 10 ways that a game journalist would fix Doom Eternal. So you already know it's going to be a pretty crappy take, but let's go through it anyway. Number 10 on their list is to tone down the arcade feel. So guy complains about how it's too goofy. I didn't really see a lot of the goofiness. Say arcadey, yeah, it's arcadey, but I like that. I think most people like that. If I wanted to play something a little bit more serious, I would go play, a Call of Duty game. I would go play that. I'm playing Doom because I want to play, something a little bit different. Like you can't aim down iron sights really. It's its own game. I like the arcade thing. I think a lot of people do. If I wanted to play the old horror Doom, I'd go back to the original. I just think that this is kind of a weird complaint. I mean, this is a formula that's worked twice now. I think they know what they're doing. And they've given the game like a metal feeling. It feels like it's a part of a subgenre of metal. And I think that works for the game. The soundtrack is amazing as well. So this totally changes this would change the feeling of the game to make it not feel arcadey. So next one's fix the ammo system. This is another example of how game journalists can't play games. The ammo system is fine. They have a whole system to get new ammo. Like you can literally punch, you get health, use the chainsaw, you get ammo. It works. If you get good, you won't really have that problem. It says they need to put ammo all over the game because I don't know how to manage my resources. It's just another example that these people can't play video games. They're terrible at video games. They hate their jobs, and they're not good at them. I mean, it says it right here. This game places a much larger emphasis on ammo and resource management. The first Doom provided us ammo in spades, and it seemed like you never ran out. Now you have to constantly find little enemies to take out with the chainsaw in order to receive ammo. Yes, it's not that hard to do. You just press a button, and it happens. But, you have to now manage your resources a little bit better. And this is too much of a problem for the game journalists because they really just want to blow through the game as quick as possible so that they can be the first ones to get their reviews out, and then they can write little papers like this. That's pretty much the truth. They don't really like games. They don't really care for games. They're just using these as platforms. It's a joke. But resource management, that's part of playing a video game that seems to escape these people. And the next is fix the Doom guy. I mean, I like the Doom guy. I don't have much to say about this one. This was the big one. Number 7, ease up on the difficulty. One of the major complaints regarding Doom Eternal, I haven't heard anybody complain about that. Haven't heard anybody complain of that until I went to a game journalist review. Then I heard people complain about it. But as far as like normal, real gamers, no one's complaining about the difficulty of the game. It's just you, game journalists, because you people don't really play games. You don't seem to understand that people want a challenge. None of you want challenge. That's why you've all written 455,000 articles on why we need to tone down the difficulty in Dark Souls. So one of the major complaints regarding Doom Eternal is it's just too darn difficult. We understand why id wanted to go in that direction. Slaying the demons of hell probably isn't the easiest job in the world, but I wanted to make you feel your feelings of make you earn your feelings of badassery. Now, what I find funny about this is there's an easy option in the game. And this brings credit to what everyone says when there's, you need to make a journalist mode, an easier than easy mode where they can just pretty much just walk through the game. This kind of proves that point, because Doom Eternal does have an easy mode. It does. So this means he didn't use the easy mode, or he used the easy mode and it was still just too darned hard for him. So there's a fine line between making your players feel rewarded and simply making them mad. And we don't know if Doom Eternal walks that line. This game may be silly hard, even on the easier difficulty settings. Call us wimps. We don't care. Then it says Nerf the Unmaker. This is a special weapon which you have to do all kinds of stuff to get, and then they complain that it's too hard. So now, you can do this work, get this weapon, and you can pretty much walk through the game with it. And that now it's too much. So now the game would be too easy, and you're mad, whereas before you were complaining that it was too hard. Do you see what I'm saying here? It's contradictory. Now we need to get rid of the jumping puzzle. Let's go ahead and take the puzzles out, even though they're not really that hard. But let's just go ahead and take those out as well. I'm a journalist. I need to be able to just walk through the game. Like you said, you think I want to play gameplay? No. I don't want it. I want the enemies to just stand there and not fight back. And I just want to walk through the level. I mean, what do you want? You don't want puzzles. You want the difficulty turned down. You want it to change. You want it to go from arcadey to a more serious game. Do you even like this game? You say you do, and I don't get it. So give us more time in secret encounters. That one, not really that big of a deal. Get rid of the purple goo. So we appreciate ID's thought process behind the purple goo, as it serves to take away the player's speed and mobility. And in a game that relies so heavily on speed and mobility, this could prove an interesting little challenge, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, the purple goo sections are nothing but frustrating. You can't jump, you can't dash, you can't walk at a decent speed. Not only that, but annoying tentacles will pop out of nowhere and shave off a good chunk of your health. Talk about annoying. Well, okay, it shaves off your health, but you can also do the little finishing move and get some health back. And also, once again, what are we doing here? We're complaining about the difficulty of the gameplay. Once again, it's too darn hard. I don't like how hard the game is, Bethesda. Why can't I just walk through the game? I'm a journalist here. Take me serious, gamers. I'm a real gamer. I play games. I'm just like you. These people. And then, once again, number 2, scale back the enemies. We never thought we'd say this, but could you ease up on the enemies? Again, Doom struck the perfect balance between fun and difficulty, giving us just enough enemies to dispatch without it feeling overwhelming. Doom Eternal suffers a bit from sequelitis and said, but more. As a result, we get relentless waves upon waves upon waves of enemies, and it gets really old after a while. So, once again, complaining about difficulty. Half of this article is the writer bitching about game difficulty. Don't like puzzles, too many enemies, the goo makes the game too hard, and I played it on easy, but it's still too hard. Okay. And then the first one is get rid of Bethesda.net. I don't disagree with that one, actually. I think that one's okay. So I agree with 1 out of 10. Let's go ahead and get rid of Bethesda.net. But do you see the pattern here? Every time a game that has somewhat of a challenge comes out, you start to see these takes come out that you need to get rid of the difficulty. The game's too darn hard. It's too hard, gosh darn it. We need to get rid of it, or we need to change it. And it starts the never-ending push of, once again, saying that the game is too difficult. It's too difficult. So, I mean, look at Sekiro, Dark Souls. Whenever these games come out, you see a new push. Dark Souls, they write an article at least twice a year on why that game needs a journalist mode. And I'm sure you're going to see a few more articles on this, because when they have a game that's difficult, they'll make these pushes like, oh, it's ableist, you're making the game too difficult for people with disabilities. You need to think of all of these people under the umbrella to make your game. You need to go against your own vision. I mean, this game has an easy mode. It's just not easy enough is kind of the thing. It's never easy enough. Like I said, the guy just wants to get through the review so that they can write articles like this and start pumping those out while Doom Eternal is a hot subject, because it's going to be a game that people like and people are going to be talking about it for a while. And I just, like I said, every time a game like this comes out, we see tons of articles about difficulty and accessibility. I'm surprised they didn't put the ableism thing in here. I'm sure that one's coming. You'll probably see how it hurts it's ableist, probably within a week or two. I would say someone's going to put an article like that out. It's like clockwork at this point. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Just making fun of these people going over this again. Oh, it's just too hard. You need to scale the enemies back, tone down the arcade feel. You need to make a new easy mode. It won't be the last, I can tell you that. Anyway, are you playing Doom Eternal? What do you think about it? Leave me a comment. Tell me your thoughts. Also, if you would, share the video. That would be appreciated. Throw a like up. Hit that notification bell. Also, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that. And subscribe if you're new.